Hi, this is Tom McEnery, sitting at the Irish Innovation Center in beautiful downtown San Jose, the capital of Silicon Valley. And we were just talking about a recent article in the New Tech Post that my friend and associate Rich Moran did. The Will This Fly, the WTF, it stands for a lot of things, but I think I'll leave it with Will This Fly, conference that he'd like to see happen in Ireland. It was a little bit of a spin-off from his Genius Cluster article that he also wrote for the New Tech Post. Both of them really very fascinating. But Rich Moran raised a couple of really good questions. With all the bright people we have coming out of Trinity and UCD and Dublin City University, why aren't we creating more companies in Ireland? What's wrong and what can be made right? And I'm going to quote once again, as I often do, the former chairman of Intel, our chairman of the Irish Technology Leadership Group, Craig Barrett. We must implement. I wrote something recently in the Irish Times about implementing things that we know are necessary in the situation that the Irish economy finds itself. And basically, people cause problems, and people in government can create an environment to change them. The first thing for the Will This Fly conference, I think, is ask the question of why we don't create more companies, and then let's try to answer it as best we can. Here in Silicon Valley, we think creating an ecosystem of venture capital, creating an environment where these young, bright people can get mentored in their ideas, can cooperate with others who have bright ideas, and can get venture funding to help get these ideas up the flagpole to see just how well they work. And also, as in Silicon Valley, when you're implementing, you have to never be afraid. Now, the Irish are not a race that's known to be too fearful. That's served both to our benefit and occasionally to our disadvantage. But in Silicon Valley, they say you're not really someone who's made it until you've failed a couple of times. Failure teaches a lot. And one of the things it teaches you is you just have to redouble your efforts. The Will This Fly conference ought to look at that. It ought to also look at how we can consolidate agencies in Ireland. I've suggested the IDA, Enterprise Ireland, there's a few other, perhaps Culture Ireland and Fáilte Ireland, be combined under one leader. That we look at how we're implementing in all areas, how we're helping young people in Ireland, how we're utilizing the benefits of the Irish diaspora. The WTF conference, the Will This Fly conference, is something that I hope happens. And I want to refer again to the Genius clusters that existed in Ireland, certainly in literary ways at the turn of the 20th century, and I think have existed in many other ways during the birth and the success of the Celtic Tiger. It fell not because any flaws in the Irish people. It was some rather large mistakes that have to have accountability, but have to be moved past to a better and brighter future. The key is implementation. The key is understanding what went wrong. The key is not being afraid to fail. It's the Silicon Valley mantra, and I'm Tom McEnery saying it's something to remember.